Download in the App Store and Google Play, the Frisco ISD Athletics app keeps you up to date with all things in the athletic department.
Schedules, scores, rosters, news, social media, final score notifications, along with the ability to watch live broadcasts are just a touch away.
Proudly represent your school with our newly available custom app icons. The official sports network of Frisco ISD Athletics, powered by Mascot Media. Download it today for free in the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to the FSN pregame show with Peter Chung. I'm Josh Webb, and Peter, let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on the Colony Cougars?
Well, Colony coming into this season, they were 7-3 last season actually, making the playoffs, which was also a great achievement for them. They didn't do as well as Reedy, but they also put up some solid numbers. They had 175.5 receiving yards last season, going along with 205.7 rushing yards per game.
And don't forget about this, Kenneth Harrison, man. Sophomore, 1,881 yards, passing yards, and 23 touchdowns just with 8 interceptions.
As a sophomore, that's insane.
That's
feat.
pretty good, man.
Coming into his junior year, you can fully expect him to grow even more. But last week, they also were able to win this game just like Reedy. They played North Crowley. They won 62-49 in week 1. And it was their defensive playmakers that actually showed up. You had Miles Price, who, a fun fact about him, he has offers from SMU, TCU, and UNT, which is amazing.
Big schools, man.
But the big storyline about him, he's their starting corner, but he had 3 touchdowns as a wide receiver and 2 touchdowns as a running back. He is their dynamic player on offense and defense.
I mean, that's what teams are looking for these days, dynamic players who can do both sides of the field. A great example is Tejada, the Tejada brothers from Centennial. They're at Baylor. One's at Baylor, one's at Washington Redskins, and one's still at TCU. And that's what teams are looking for these days. That's why he has offers from SMU and the other school he got an offer from?
UNT and SMU, UNT, and TCU.
And just watch out for Miles Price tonight. I mean, he's a dynamic player and a big playmaker too.
And
is Matthew Hoots, who was one of the leading sackers for the Reedy team last year.
Matthew Hoots was the leading sacker for Reedy last year with 11 sacks. He made a huge play, tipping the ball away from, before it was passed by Mikey Harrington, making it 2nd and 10. But it looks like Colony has the ball, but now it is a offside by the defense of Reedy.
I think, well, flags have been a prevalent thing for the Colony tonight. They've had 2 flags so far, costing flags, offsides, false starts.
But that was the one real thing that stopped their momentum. Like in the first series, they were going all the way to the end zone. It didn't seem like Reedy's defense could actually stop them and halt them, but it was the flag that gave them the advantage. It was the flag again here that's stopping the momentum of Colony when they're starting to get going.
You know, getting flags can really set a tone for an offense or a defense. But they seem to bounce back from it, but not in a big, impactful way as you think. Harrington drops back, throws to the right side, and it'll be overthrown and out of bounds, and it'll be 2nd and 15, ball on the 25-yard line with 3 minutes left to go in the quarter.
And something we've seen early on this game from Harrington is that he likes to go to the outside to make those plays that are a lot harder to make towards his wide receivers on the outside. Like the number 22, his wide receiver, Christian Gonzalez and Miles Price, they're both on the outside. He tries to throw it to them often. The only problem is those kinds of throws are always tough to make just because of how the receivers have to adjust to the quarterback and not vice versa.
2nd and 15, one back in the backfield. Harrington throws out of pressure, and it looks like number 1 will fumble the ball, and they'll be down on the 21-yard line.
Wow. And you can see the coaches of Reedy getting pumped after that play. That was a serious hit on number 1 of the Colony, Jaden Abdallah.
I mean, you can see the body language in this Colony team right now. They just look defeated right now. Flags can make or break a team. In most cases, it's breaking this team right now.
And now it's all about how they respond.
Bobbly passes, catches, drop catches. I mean, it's just...
We just have to see how they respond. That's important on whether or not they can continue to fight and be part of this game.
Drops back, Harrington throwing left side deep to number 88,
and he catches the ball!
Inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10, and that's a touchdown for number 88. Play.
Keith Miller, who, as we said, he's one of their premier wide receivers on the outside. It's just amazing to see how he was able to pick up that ball, get it to Keith Miller and make it so pinpoint accurate that the corner had no chance at all. The corner fell after Keith Miller got the ball, and it was just a foot race from there.
Wow, I was not expecting that. You know, I was actually expecting a face mask call because looks like Keith Miller was grabbing the defender's face mask for a second. But wow, what a play. What a momentum shifter right there.
And that's what Reedy needed. They were down because of the flags. They were down because they were the tip passes.
The Colony needed, yeah.
No, the Colony, yes. Their charisma was down because of those plays. That one play just shifts the whole aspect of this game, this whole perspective.
Wow, what a play by Miller. I was not expecting that. He just dropped back, threw left, and said, you know what, I'm just going to give it my all, and that's the result right there, man, a 60-yard touchdown.
Right now, that's the play of the game, and that's the play to beat.
Man, he was so quick on that route right there. He mossed him.
Absolutely.
Look at the replay right here. Drops back, throws left. Heath Miller in the open, and he catches it, and that is a touchdown.
And
first one of the game by the Colony Cougars.
And his size is just going to dominate that corner day in and day out, unless they find a way to somehow double team him. Because if he's in one-on-one coverage, Harrington is going to continue to find Miller, and they're going to continue to get some scores.
You know, that's why Harrington was sophomore of the year last year in the Colony. Plays like that, man, I'm telling you.
And that size from Keith Miller, that's insane. And you've got to respect how he utilizes it to get the best out of the play.
Kevin Albaran is set to kick, and looks like number 1 of the Reedy special teams is set to return. Signaling his team, and the kick is going to be a decently long one. Number 1 is going to return it, number 4 actually, and it will be taken down at the 27-yard line. Returned by Logan West, who is a senior, who had the big catch for the Reedy Lions offense.
And speaking of Logan West, he's one of four seniors that came back for their last year. They did lose their leading receiver last season, Sean Hall, who went off to college. But the next 4 top receivers for Reedy are all back. They're all seniors, and they're all vying for that top receiver spot and trying to get this championship.
Let's see if Josh Foskey and the Reedy offense can answer from that last touchdown from the Colony. Shotgun formation as usual. 1 back in the backfield, 1 tight end to the right, doubles to the left. Foskey is going to get the snap. Going to hand it off to his fullback, his trusty fullback, who'll get about a 7-yard run. You know, here's the thing about fullbacks. It's a dying breed. No offense implements fullbacks anymore, and that's very rare. And I actually like to see a fullback back out there because they pound the rock, they get those first downs, they get touchdowns on 1 in 3 situations, and you know what? That's why the fullback should keep on living.
Now, one of the reasons why the fullback has been a little bit more absent in the recent games is because coaches are thinking, why would I need a fullback if I can have the extra blocker or extra receiver on the field?
Or they just do a wildcat formation with the quarterback who can run a boot outside the left and get 30 yards on the first down.
Exactly, but it's always nice to see fullbacks back in the game.
Shotgun formation, he'll head up to his trusty fullback again. We'll find a blocker and he'll be close to a first down. I'll be about 3rd and inches. Unless they will move the chains. Yep.
Michael Ferrara, their fullback, is getting a lot of touches this game. Obviously, they clearly trust him after getting that touchdown in the first quarter.
Heck, I would trust him. He's a big guy, man. He's a big guy. Eats a lot of protein, I'll tell you that right there.
Let's talk a little about this Colony defense. They've been a little iffy so far. We'll have to see whether or not they can halt the momentum of Reedy.
Malice Price, keep an eye on him, man. He's a good cornerback. Shotgun formation, looks like they're going to do the blitz. Foskey looking back from number 1.
Number 1 is free.
And he's still going. He's down, and he's still going. He's down at the 30-yard line. Wow, what a pass. And it was caught by Nolan Matthews, who was a senior.
And that was a very aggressive play call by the Colony defensive coordinator. They decided to blitz right there, leaving the far part of the field wide open. Number 1 for Reedy, Nolan Matthews, their tight end, finding the space. And then it was just Foskey being able to find his tight end, and they're able to gain another 30 yards.
Ball on the 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Foskey's going to do a little fake, play action, throw a low pass to another fullback, and it's going to be incomplete.
And
pass
once again,
number 44.
it's another short pass, and another short pass that has been messed up.
I'm telling you, man, those short passes are kind of outdated now, and they should be doing play action deep passes, and it works every single time.
And for the normal viewers, they think about it. Short passes, they're short, they should be easy. but that's completely the opposite. Just because they're short, the defenders are going to be on them harder, they're going to be tighter, and it's going to be a harder window for the quarterback.
2nd and 10, ball on the 20-yard line, 29-yard line, one back in the backfield. Foskey shotgun formation. Going to get the snap. Oh no, get sacked, and there's a fumble. And it looks like the Reedy offense picks it up and recovers it.
What a play by the linebacker. I believe that was number 42 for the Colony, Kyer Warner, who just went right past the offensive line and just hit the running back and the quarterback at the same time while they're handing the ball off, making a fumble.
Peter, let me say something real quick. I was wrong. I spoke too soon about this Colony Cougar team. I said they looked defeated after those flags, but man, I'm telling you, once you get those touchdowns and points, that can be a real momentum shifter. Absolutely. And we're seeing it right now from this Colony Cougar team.
And think about it on the defense. When your offense makes a huge play like that, going all the way for that touchdown with Keith Miller, the defense has got to think, I want to do better than them. I want to show that we're the better aspect of our team.
So they have a timeout right now. What do you think Reedy's going to do?
Reedy, for their offense, they really have to trust Josh Foskey to make the plays that are needed. And then they have to shore up their offensive line. Their offensive line this game, it's been overall solid, but there have been gaps in their offense so far. And we have to also look towards the key players in this game. Let's
talk about Josh Foskey, senior quarterback number 10, who's had some big plays, long passes, and William Harbour, who is a junior, and he's also the kicker. He is the linebacker of the team and the kicker.
And so we have William Harbour here, who is the leading tackler for the Reedy Lions. Last season, he had 7 sacks last game against Plano West. I fully expect him to have a larger role this season, getting even more tackles and make some more sacks. You just fully expect for him to do even better.
Okay, Kenneth Harrington, man, big arm, confidence. I love the stature of him. I love his just grit towards the game after that big pass. I think he's going to have plenty of more passes like that in today's game.
And something we've seen from Harrington is the fact that his arm is truly, truly great. He gets it pinpoint accurate, and that's something important to see in a quarterback.
Okay, last but not certainly least, let's not forget about Miles Price, the guy who's gotten offers from SMU, TCU, and many more colleges. Peter?
Well, Miles Price, triple threat, running back, wide receiver, and cornerback. What more can you say? And that's
what a play! Deep to the right side,
what a play!
And that is caught by number 4, who's going to be Logan West, who's been a big player in this game tonight. He rolled out.
It's called incomplete.
It's going to be called incomplete. Yeah, he did step out of bounds. I think so. He didn't get 1 foot in, but the high school rule is 1 foot, like the college, not the NFL, where the NFL is 2 feet. But I don't think he got his feet in.
That's really unfortunate to see, because that was a great play by Foskey. Being able to find West in the corner of the end zone, trying to get it to him. West unable to get the ball because the corner was right there with him. It was a good play by the corner. I think it was an even better play by the quarterback.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's the athleticism, it's the grit, man. The shotgun formation. Foskey motioning out number 32, drops back, looking right, going to throw to the right side, and it's caught for a first down.
What a throw. You had 2 corners right there, one in front of the wide receiver, one behind him. That was Logan West once again. But Foskey being able to find Logan West right there in the middle between those 2 corners, getting that first down, and his arm might be even better than Harrington so far this game.
You can't make a better throw than that, man. I'm telling you, he threaded the needle on that play. Trips to the left side. Foskey getting some audibles from the sideline. Looks like they're going to find a play.
Foskey's vision, arm, and patience are the reason why he's the best quarterback in the Frisco ISD.
I just love when he does that rollout to the right side, man. Shotgun formation. Harbour in the backfield. Gets the snap, rolls to the left side, looking for someone who's open. He's going to throw it to number 4, Logan West, who will get about 5 yards on the play.
And Logan West has to be stopped. I mean, you understand that he's the one getting a lot of the shooting yard, but there is a foul. It's a holding on the offense.
Like I said before, man, flags can just destroy the momentum for a team.
And flags have been usually coming from the Colony so far this game. I think this is the first flag on Reedy, and what a flag it is. They were 3 yards away, or 3 or 4 yards away from the touchdown zone, but now they're another
Well,
10 yards.
Actually, I think it's an advantage because it gives them more space to throw in tight corners. Because it's one of the hardest things to do in football is to throw a touchdown in the red zone because it's so tight and condensed. But there's an advantage and disadvantage. Losing yards, obviously, but getting more space to throw a touchdown.
But that also makes it harder on the quarterback. That's why a lot of teams prefer it to be up close.
Shotgun formation, trips to the left side. Foskey going to motion out number 32. Going to look left, getting pressure, is going to run up the middle. He's going to keep the ball. He's going to run for about 10 yards.
He was tackled by number 30, Dom Puentes, their linebacker from the Colony. And what we have to see here is that Foskey getting pressured once again. The Reedy offensive line allowing for the defensive line and linebackers to get through. And it was just Foskey's quick feet that got them a gain from this play.
Man, Foskey, he's just an athlete, man. There's a reason why he was district runner-up player last year. So let's see what he can do on this play. 2nd and 12, ball on the 14-yard line. 10 minutes and 42 seconds left in the second quarter. Foskey's going to hand off to number 32 on a little play fake, and you'll get about a 4-yard, 5-yard gain on the play.
And that was a very, very interesting play. Oh, it seems there's a player that's shaken up on the field.
And that
Hopefully
is number,
he gets better.
And that is number 55.
But that was an interesting play call by Reedy. Foskey got the ball. He acted like he was going to be rolling out left, throwing it short for his receiver, but he quickly hands it off for his running back, Andrew Ferreira.
The right side. He's going to drop back, looking left, looking right, rolling, getting pressured. He's looking for someone who's open, going to throw on the run, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds. It'll now be 4th and 7. And Peter, do you think they should go for it or are they going to kick it?
I think the safer bet would be to kick it. It's a tie game right now. Get those points on the board and just solidify their lead. But we never know with Reedy. They have a dynamic quarterback. Maybe they want to go for it because they trust him. We'll have to see.
Don't be surprised if it's a fake field goal pass.
You see Josh Foskey, their starting quarterback.
It's going to be the setter today.
Yeah, that's interesting to see because you normally don't see the starting quarterback be the setter. So we'll have to see if it's a fake because it might be.
He's going to be the holder. Snap is good, kick is up, and it's almost blocked, but it's good for a field goal, and it'll be 10-7.
And that was great pressure by Miles Price coming off the edge, getting to the kicker. Reedy barely got it off, and they were able to get that field goal, making it 10-7. Reedy in the lead, and that's the second time today Reedy's been in the lead. We'll have to see if the Colony will once again come back, either tie the game or take the lead themselves.
And we'll be right back after these messages. You're watching the Reedy Lions versus the Colony Cougars on FSN. Welcome back. You're watching the Reedy Lions versus the Colony Cougars on FSN. And looks like number 2, Will Harbor, is set to kick. And the kick is off. And looks like number 2 is going to be returning the ball on the 10-yard line. Getting some blockers to the left side. Looking for a wide hole. And he'll be down at the 30-yard line.
And that's the kicker that tackled him. Will Harbor, using his linebacker skills as a kicker in the special teams, getting the down at around the 30-yard line.
10 minutes left in this first half. Peter, what are your thoughts on this half so far?
Well, what we've seen is that both teams have been halting their momentum with flags, but overall, I think Reedy's been able to get the most out of their series. They've been able to get it down the field quicker, and they're able to get into scoring position much faster than the Colony. We'll have to see how the Colony responds if Harrington can do something magical.
Shotgun formation, Harrington. 2 receivers to the right, run back in the backfield. Looks like they're getting a play from the sidelines. Using that secret signage right there. Chinning up the play formation right there. And looks like they're going to get the stop. It's going to be a botch stop right there. They'll be down on the 14-yard line.
And what a miscue between the center and the quarterback. What the quarterback was doing, he was looking to the sideline. The center didn't really see. He thought the quarterback was actually looking for him to snap the ball. He snaps the ball too early for the quarterback. Quarterback doesn't even notice it until the running back gets on top of the ball. That's a huge, huge loss for Colony. They can't be afforded to make mistakes.
It's all about communication in football, man. You have to utilize it all the time or something like that will happen. Ball on the 16-yard line.
And Reedy's defense not really having to do much to try to win this game.
That play right there reminded me of the snap in Super Bowl 48 when Peyton Manning, first play ever in the Super Bowl.
And what a play by Reedy's defense, sacking the quarterback. That's number 7, getting the sack from Reedy. Trevor Jones, their senior linebacker. And it's just been a tale of two quarters right now. In the first quarter, it was the Colony's offensive line, which was solid, keeping Harrington patient, keeping him safe. Right now, Reedy's defense is all over the offensive line. They're getting pressure, and then now we see Trevor Jones getting the sack.
It is now 3rd and 27. Ball on the 13-yard line. The thing I like about Harrington is that he has 3 bad plays, and he comes back and makes a big pass. And see, I don't know if there's going to be a big pass right here, but he drops back, looking right, throwing deep.
Pressure once again, but what a play, what a grab by the wide receiver, and that was not only a good pass by the quarterback, but we saw a good play by number 88, Keith Miller, the wide receiver, who got that touchdown in the first quarter.
But it doesn't really matter because it wasn't enough yards to get the first down. It's now 4th
Exactly.
and 10.
That one play in this series where it was a missed snap just changed the whole perspective of this game. Because right there, if it was just there at the 1st and 10 marker, they would have gotten the first down.
Yep, they would have gotten that first down clean and crisp. I'm not agreeing with you, Peter. Disagreeing with you, Peter.
That was number 7 for Reedy. Trevor Jones once again with the tackle.
Man, Keith Miller, what a guy right there. He is huge.
Absolutely.
Looks like
it's a block.
The punt.
It's a block.
And Reedy's going to run it
24.
back. It'll be down on the 5-yard line. Man, what a momentum shifter right there.
That was number 24, Matthew Hoots, the blocker of the ball.
Who was the defensive player for the Reedy Lions last year. Man, what a statement he made right there.
11 sacks for Reedy last season. Now he starts off with a block punt, and Reedy is in a perfect position to get another score on the board before this quarter ends.
Man, he just came there like a truck on fire. The Reedy coaches are right next to us in the press box, and they're just they're not livid, but they are just excited right now and fueled by
And they have
that
every
play.
right to be, because what a play by the special teams.
It will now be first and goal on the 5-yard line. This is Reedy's opportunity, and they should capitalize after that great defensive play.
And we've been talking a lot about the secondary of the Colony. Right now, the defensive line of the Colony has to step up because they have to pressure the quarterback.
Looks like not Miles Price, Will Harbor is going to come in, going to run in his fullback, and
he's down around the 1-yard line.
Almost a touchdown. I think that's inches right there. 4-yard gain on the play.
And what did I say? The defensive line has to step up for the Colony. Right now, they're not doing it. And if it's all on the secondary shoulders, I don't know how long they can last. Harbor in the shotgun once again.
Harbor, don't be surprised. A little bit of a high stop right there, but he's going to run it in himself. It'll now be 16-17 with 7:14 left in the second half.
And there's a flag on the play against number 14 for Reedy, Peyton Roberts. What ended up happening for Peyton was that he got tangled with the quarterback he got tangled with the number 44 Noah Jackson of Reedy, who got tangled up with the cornerback of the Colony, and then after he brought him down to the ground, he made a taunt, causing the ref to create a flag.
And that's something you never want to do. Coaches do not like that. It's all about character and respect for their opponents. And it looks like this coach is going to be talking to him about that. But honestly, I give him some props because that was a big play right there.
Absolutely. And it was just, when we look at the Reedy's offensive line, they're manhandling the defensive line of the Colony. And Will Harbor, their linebacker, is just able to get through easily. He wasn't touched going into the end zone, which was really surprising to me.
So, Josh Foskey's over there. Will Harbor's over there. Don't be surprised if they actually go for 2. I mean, they are up by 9, but they can make the margin to 11 if they go for the 2-point conversion.
Absolutely, and going into this second half, having that kind of a lead against a quality team in the Colony is going to be huge. It's just a matter of whether or not they can retain possession of the game.
Will Harbor is set to kick. Foskey's going to be the holder for Will Harbor.
And
Peter, they're going to make it. He's going to make it. I don't want to speak too soon, but he's going to make it. Set is up, and it's good. And the score is now 17-7.
Straight down the middle. Will Harbor, the jack of all trades, linebacker, running back, to get that touchdown. And now he's also a kicker as well. What can't he do?
I'm starting to think he's more dynamic than Miles Price.
I mean, Miles Price, yes, he's been getting offers, but why haven't we been talking about Will Harbor? He's been doing everything for Reedy so far.
He's basically been the main weapon for this offense today. Kicking, touchdowns, running. I mean, he's just everything.
There we see Will Harbor running in freely, untouched, getting another touchdown for Reedy, and it's just a rout right now because Reedy is capitalizing on the mistakes made by the Colony.
So, Peter, let me ask you this. You think the Colony can answer after that, just disaster of a failed punt attempt?
First off, there's 2 parts of this. First, they have to answer, because if they don't answer, then Reedy will continue to have momentum, they'll continue to score, and this game will be over before the half. But whether or not they can, it's all a matter or not of whether Keith Miller, their wide receiver, and Mikey Harrington, their quarterback, can really connect together, because those two have been the real connection for the Colony offense so far.
So the Reedy kicking team is off to kick. Will Harbor, who's been a dynamic player tonight, will be set to kick from the 25-yard line, signaling his players left and right. Looks like number 2, Miles Price, another dynamic player, is going to be returning today.
You know, it would be great for the Colony. A special teams touchdown right now.
Kid return for a touchdown. The kick is going to be a deep run right here. Number 2. I think I would just let it go.
What
but
a kick!
Price is going to go for it. Left side getting a blocker, and he'll be taken down at
Will Harbor,
15-yard line.
We just talked about him, how he was the running back, how he's the linebacker. Now he's kicking, and he's probably the best special teams player this game. He got a tackle as a kicker. He's pinned them down before the 20-yard line as well.
Not only is he the best special teams player, but I think he's the best overall player in today's game.
I don't think anyone's going to refute you.
Don't be surprised if he gets a big sack on this series right here.
It really is rare to see one player star on the special teams, on the defense, and on the offense at the same time.
I mean, that's a guy you want on your team right there.
I don't think there's a coach in FIC who wouldn't want it.
Harrington's going to toss to number 2, who will get about a 4-yard gain on the play. But again, Harrington's the kind of guy you want on your team. He's very physical. He's brutal with his runs. He's team guy. He's a great kicker. And I don't know why colleges aren't picking him up right now.
I don't know either, because right now he's making Miles Price not look as dynamic as he usually is.
And Harrington, too. I mean, he had that one big pass.
Yeah.
But after that pass, he's just been mediocre. He's going to hand off to his fullback, who will get about a... Oh, he's going to fumble again!
It's another fumble.
Number 7 will pick it up, and he was actually down. His knee was down before the ball came out of his hands.
But the Colony is in shambles right now. Like,
yes, they are.
You have their running back, number 1, from the Colony, Jaden Abdallah, who was great all up until the last point. He was patient, waited for the hole to open up, got through. He was free until the first down, and then all of a sudden he gets popped by the defense of Reedy.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, that's a warning sign. That's a sign of things are going to happen. That's a sign of something that's going to happen.
And that's just the difference in confidence between these two teams.
Shotgun formation is going to hand it off to number 1, who's trusting running back, and he'll get about a 2-yard gain on the play.
Now we see the Colony going to the running game a bit more. They start off the game trusting Harrington. He was throwing the deep balls, getting that touchdown with Keith Miller. It looked like they'd be able to get back into this game. But now they're running the ball a bit more, trusting Abdallah to see if he can make plays, but Reedy's defense locking down.
Well, the Colony, as you can see on the start of the ring, very conservative right now, just taking it slow, doing those short runs, maybe long runs, but shotgun formation. Harrington throwing to the right side, number 10, and it's almost picked, but it'll be down, and that is incomplete pass. Pass intended to number 10, who's going to be David Perkins, who's also a quarterback as well, and it'll now be 3rd and 8, ball on the 31-yard line.
And that's another trend of this game. We saw in the first quarter how Harrington was very favorable to going to the outside receivers, but the only problem is he doesn't have an arm like Foskey. Foskey has a great arm, able to get it anywhere on the field. That's just not the same with Harrington.
Harrington getting pressured, and he's sacked by number 24, and he'll be down at the 28-yard line.
Matthew Hoots, their leading sacker last season, getting a sack today. What a how many defensive playmakers does Reedy have? We talked about the Colony having Miles Price, having their safety duo of Derek Green and Cameron Pear. The whole story of this game is the Reedy's defense, about how they have Matthew Hoots, how they have Will Harbor, how they have the dynamic quarterback in Josh Foskey. It's all Reedy so far.
What a statement this team has made so far. Defense, offense, special teams. I mean, it just can't get better than this. There's a reason why the coaches are just cheering on right now next to us. Punt is up, and looks like it's going to be a fair catch. It's going to be down on the 40-yard line, and that is a perfect punt right there.
That was a very good punt. It was high. It gave the chance for his special team players to get down the field. It's going to be around the 41-yard line for Reedy. Let's see if they'll be able to capitalize on the defensive efforts of their leaders, Matthew Hoots and Will Harbor.
So, Josh Foskey and the rest of the crew, the Reedy offense, is going to get on the field yet again. And let's see if they can capitalize on that sack by Matthew Hoots. It is now 1st and 10, ball on the 41-yard line, 4 minutes left in the first half. Peter, let's see what happens. Shotgun formation, yet again. They haven't been under center all night, and you know what? It's been working in their favor so far. Foskey gets the snap, little high snap, will hand off up the middle to number 32, and he'll get about a 5-7-yard gain on the play.
And why you always see high school quarterbacks in the shotgun formation, it's just a lot easier for them to get the ball easily from the snap, and then being able to make the reads with their number 1, 2, and 3 receivers, seeing who's open, and the shotgun formation just accommodates that. The reason why you see a lot of the pro teams going under center is just because it makes it a lot more confusing on the defense, makes it a lot more harder on the defense, but it looks Reedy clearly going for a Foskey favorable offense.
Well, Peter, here's the thing about it. I think the under center is a dying breed. It's dying these days. Foskey looking right. There's a flag on the play, but he will throw it to number 10, and he'll be down at the 34-yard line. But the under center formation is dying because you're more prone to get sacked because defensive linemen are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and
Absolutely.
bigger. And they're finding new ways to find holes to get that quarterback.
I mean, when you have players like Matthew Hoots and Will Harbor on the defense, you can only expect for them to have defensive playmakers, and you always want to have a quarterback who can play in the shotgun.
It looks like there's going to be a penalty on the Reedy offense, and that can really break the momentum for this offense unless Foskey just throws it deep.
And who knows, because Foskey's arm can get anywhere on this field.
Looks like they're getting a play from the sideline from the coaches.
Back with their trusty fullback, number 32, Michael Ferraro.
2nd and 11, ball on the 40-yard line. Foskey's going to hand off. There's actually going to be a trick play to the left side. It's going to be a boot to the left side by the...
That's Logan West.
Logan West will be down on the 48-yard line.
And that was a very nice play by Reedy. It started off with Foskey in the shotgun. He got the ball. It looked like it was a simple handoff toss towards Ferraro, his fullback. Ferraro runs towards Logan West. He's cutting across the field. pitches the ball to Logan West. Logan West cutting across the field, going across the offensive lines, and getting towards the first down marker, making it 3rd and 2.
Peter, let me ask you this. There's 3 minutes and 21 seconds left in this first half. Do you think Reedy can capitalize with the time left?
Absolutely, because we've seen Reedy can do it all. They can run the ball, they can do trick plays, they have Foskey's arm, and if they do mess up, the defense can back them up. So 3 minutes 21 seconds. I think it's plenty of time for Josh Foskey and his offense to get some work done.
It is now 3rd and 2, ball on the 49-yard line. Number 2, Will Harbor, is in the shotgun formation. He's going to run up the middle like he always does, and that'll be enough for a first down. Man, player of the game right there. I'm going to call it.
Absolutely. Will Harbor, once again, whenever he's in that Wildcat formation, he's going to take that ball himself no matter what play action there is.
And that was a gain of 5 by Will Harbor right there. Man, this Reedy offense is just exploding.
They have every single aspect of the game covered. Their receiving threats, their quarterback, their running back, their fullback, their offensive line. Their offense truly is something exciting to see this game.
So it looks like it's going to be a pro set formation. Foskey's hands number 2, Ferrara, who's playing like a Ferrari out there.
He absolutely is. His engine is going and going.
I mean, it would make it better if he was wearing a red jersey, but I mean, green fits. Green fits. You can always find a green Ferrari out there. But anyway, Peter, Ferrer, Foskey, Harbor, all these guys are the reason why this Reedy team is so successful.
And I think
tonight.
one untold hero is Logan West, their wide receiver, who's been getting a lot of action this game.
Shotgun formation. High snap again. They're going to hand off to Ferrara. It'll now be about 2nd and 4.
And
2nd and 5. 3rd and 5.
Reedy, once again, understanding there's only 2 minutes left in this quarter, conserving the clock, making sure that the remaining time is going to be in their possession, and there's not really anything the Colony can do with 0 timeouts left.
Well, a coach's best friend is clock management. It's all about managing the clock, because Frisco did a poor job of that last week.
Yeah.
You know, they called all 3 of their timeouts with 16 seconds left.
Exactly.
And Reedy hasn't even, well, they've called all their timeouts, but they've done it in such a conservative way.
And they understand they're in position of control right now with possession with 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
Shotgun formation. Foskey drops back, looking right, getting pressured. Looking for an open man. There's a flag, and he gets sacked. And it'll be down, it'll be a fumble, but it'll go out of bounds. And
we'll have to see what the flag is, but clearly the Colony Cougars are very happy about what just happened. They needed that kind of play to get their to get it jump started, but it is a holding on the offense.
Man, that's terrible. You never want to get a holding call, especially with a time frame like this.
That penalty is declined. It's actually going to be because it's declined. It's going to be counted as a sack, and Reedy will still be pushed back.
Yep, they'll be pushed back, and it'll now be about third and like fourth.
Fourth and around.
Fourth and forever.
4th and 18.
Ball on the 45-yard line. Number 17, not Ryan Jones.
Reedy playing it smart. Although it'd be really interesting to see Josh Foskey go on 4th and 18. Use his arm, get down the field.
Honestly, I'd rather use Harrington on 4th and 18. He's got that big arm, the great.
And he's got Keith Miller as well.
Man. Those fast receivers. And the punt is high. A good punt right there. Looks like they're going to do a fair catch. Prize will fair catch it at the 23-yard line. Peter, do you think the Colony can capitalize on that sack?
There's 1 minute and 24 seconds left. Before this game, I said the Colony's offense and the Colony's defense would complement each other well and help them win this game. But right now, I'm not so sure, because right now I'm thinking Reedy still has momentum even after that sack, and I just fully expect Reedy to run out the clock and make sure that the Colony really can't get anything done this quarter.
It is now 1st and 10. Ball on the 22-yard line. 17-7 with 1 minute and 24 seconds left in the game. Actually, quarterback number 11, Mikey Harrington's in the shotgun formation. Doubles on both sides. Dropping back, looking to the middle, and it's caught by number 88, and he'll be down at the 40 or 38-yard line.
And it's really interesting to see because that's number 2, Will Harbor, who got the tackle. But what ended up happening was that Harrington passed towards his wide receiver, and Harbor hit him in the front, not behind, pushing him further towards the halfway line.
Shotgun formation. Harrington looking back, getting pressure, rolling to the right side, throwing up to the middle to number 2, Price, and he'll be down. He's still going. He's down at the 36-yard line. They're rolling and rolling and rolling, man. I think they're going to score. They're capitalizing on this right now, Peter.
It's really interesting. 59 seconds left. Harrington using his legs, rolling out right, finding his wide receiver, number 2, Miles Price, who's been a dynamic player for them so far on the offense, and getting some yards and a first down.
Harrington, shotgun formation, doubles on both sides, rolling to the left side, getting pressure by number 3, looking for a man who's open. He's going to do a short pass to Price for about a 7-yard gain on the play.
He goes out of bounds, smart play by the Colony, stopping the clock with 41 seconds left, and being able to come up with the play without having to worry about speeding up.
That'll be a gain of 8, 2nd and 2, ball on the 28-yard line. Don't be surprised if Harrington throws it deep on this play, man. I'm telling you, doubles on both sides.
But Josh, where has this energy suddenly come from?
From Harrington, I mean, it's the clock, man. It just motivates you to keep on going, because I used to be a football player, and there was times where we would have 2 seconds. And
that's a bad drop. That's going to hurt them right there. Price had an opportunity to quickly get the ball, get the first down, go out of bounds. But
anyway, Peter, like I was saying, the clock just motivates you to go faster and faster because you're trying to beat the clock. I played football. There was times where we had 20 seconds left to score and win the game, and unfortunately we did lose. It was back in 7th grade Pee Wee football. But anyway, like I said, man, the clock is either your best friend or your enemy. In this case, it's the Colony's enemy right now. But they do have 3 timeouts. So after this play, if it's an incomplete pass or just a run for -3 yards, then I wouldn't be surprised if they called a timeout right now.
But that one play with Miles Price dropping the ball with the first down in his hands, that's going to be disappointing because they have 40 seconds left. They had an opportunity to move the stakes, which is always important in this game.
Shotgun formation, drops back, looking left for a man who's wide open, number 2, Price, and he
has the ball. He ducks one player. Did he get out of bounds?
They're going to call a timeout, man. I would call a timeout in this situation right now.
Smart play by the Colony. Miles Price this time catching the ball on the outside. He juked one defender. He was pushing towards getting to the out-of-bounds marker, but Reedy, it was a good job on the defense keeping him inbounds, forcing a timeout.
And we'll be back right after this break. You're watching Reedy Lions versus the Colony Cougars on FSN. And we're back after that short break. Shotgun formation, Harrington back in his natural state with one back in the backfield. Audibling right here. Drops back, looking right, rolling, getting pressure. There's a flag on the play. He's going to throw for the end zone. It's a touchdown.
By number 2.
But there's a flag on the play.
It's a holding.
Holding call. That is
that's killer for Colony. They had a touchdown right there. Even without the holding call, the offensive line didn't need to hold for Harrington to roll out wide. Because Harrington was rolling out wide even before the holding call, and he had Miles Price open in the end zone. Miles Price got the ball. It was a free touchdown.
What a big break for the Reedy Lions defense because, man, I would not want to see that defensive coordinator after that touchdown if it was called a touchdown.
And you know who's going to be angry this game? The offensive coordinator, because of how many mistakes the Colony Cougars are making.
Yep. It's now 1st and 20, ball on the 32-yard line, 17-7 with 26 seconds left in the first half. Audibling right now, shotgun formation. Don't be surprised if Harrington just throws it deep. Hail Marys it, man. dropping back, getting pressured left side.
That's
gonna
exactly
throw,
what he does.
And it's going to be
Oh.
overthrown just by a couple yards.
Miles Price, the target once again. He's been the main target this game, but I don't know if that's a smart option because Reedy knows who the playmaker is for the Colony, Miles Price. They're guarding him closely. It's another holding.
And
it's another holding on the offensive line.
It's turning into a flag bowl for this Colony Cougars team right here.
They were in the red zone. They were clearly in the red zone. They had that touchdown. Now they're at the 42-yard line. It's unbelievable.
It is now 1st and 30. Ball on the 42-yard line. 17-7. 20 seconds left in the first half. I say this every time. Trips to the right side. Don't be surprised if Harrington throws it deep. Drops back, getting pressured left and right. Throwing it to Price, who's got a blocker inside the 40,
Price
inside
is
the
free.
30, inside the 20, inside
Price.
the 10, and it's a touchdown.
Price
no
has
flags on the play. Unbelievable. 9 seconds left in the first half.
I was so confused when the Colony decided to throw a short pass to Price around the 40-yard line. All of a sudden, he breaks free of all the time. Great blocks by the wide receivers down the field.
Because, Peter, we always say this every single time. Short passes don't work. But there's always that one lucky short pass that turns into a touchdown, and it could not be at a better time.
And Reedy, you clearly saw, didn't expect this.
And there's a reason why Price is getting offers from all these big-name colleges. Plays like that. Kick is up, and it's almost blocked, and it's good, and it's now 14-17.
And you can be sure that's going to be on his highlight reel whenever he graduates.
Yes, it will, Peter. 9 seconds left. Let me ask you this. Do you think Reedy can answer and capitalize after that play?
I'm still confident in Reedy's ability to maximize their momentum, but right now the Colony also clawing back. They have one hand on that cliff, but they're starting to get back up into this game.
Well, to play it safe, Peter, I think they should just kneel and just kill the clock for the halftime because prevent injuries and all those other factors.
Absolutely. With 9 seconds left, there's not a lot they can do.
Because lobbing it deep is just could be an interception right here.
Keep it safe. Kneel the ball. Avoid interceptions. And just get into the half and regroup. That's what Reedy has to do because they had momentum for the majority of this half. So we'll have to see how Reedy and Colony will go into halftime with their game plans.
So we see the Colony flag crew cheering on their team after a marvelous touchdown. And those pants are actually pretty cool. They're all checkerboard and stuff, but that doesn't matter.
Josh, who's been your player of the half so far?
My favorite player of the half so far? I'm not going to lie, man. Will Harbor, he's the dynamic guy. He's a linebacker, kicker, fullback. He does have the most points for this Reedy offense, and you know what? I like him so far. I think he might be the player of the game if the Reedy Lions win today.
As a fan, it's always fun to see these kinds of players in the game.
Yep.
Who do everything on the field.
And you know what, Peter, I agree with you 100%. Looks like they're going to do a short kick, and they're going to play it safe, do a fair catch. We're going to be down on the 26-yard line. You know what, Peter? With 8 seconds left, I just think they're going to kneel it. They're going to kneel it because
I think that's a smart move.
There's too much of a risk when you have this much time when you're in the league. I just say you just kneel it down and just kill the clock and
take
just go into
the half. That's what you need right now.
Going halftime.
So we see the Colony getting back on the field. No doubt they're going into their locker room motivated because if it ended after the first quarter, I truly believe they'd feel deflated. But when they're going into the locker room after this half, they're going to believe they have a shot, and they truly do have a shot because they brought it back with Miles Price and with their wide receiver Keith Miller. And
looks like the Reedy offense is going to call a timeout. Hey, I think they might have some tricks up their sleeve on this play, man. They're probably going to do a play action deep shotgun pass.
And that's the reason why the Colony had to call a timeout because they wanted to make sure that they were prepared for any situation.
So we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back after those short messages. Be sure to run the Gary Burns Fun Run. Anyway, the Reedy offense is back on the field. Josh Foskey. Hey, Peter, don't be surprised if it's a play action for a deep pass. But look at the corners. They're in safety mode right here. They're playing it safe. They're playing zone coverage, not man. And you know what?
And Reedy has no reason not to trust Josh Foskey's arm. He's proven tonight that he truly is the quarterback that he was last year.
Josh Foskey doing a short pass to the right side, getting a block, and he'll be down at the 40 or the 36-yard line. 3 seconds left in the game.
They're around 60 yards away from the end zone. It'll be interesting to see what they call. They did a short pass this time just to get a bit more yardage, but maybe they'll play it safe, but I fully expect them to go do another pass, try to get a quick touchdown.
3 seconds left in the first half. This has been a long half, full of good plays, bad plays, flags, defensive failures, offensive failures. But, you know, when you go in the locker room and that coach gives you that speech, you learn from it and you just learn to progress a little bit.
And we have the bands lining up at the end zone, waiting to come on for the halftime show. They're always great to watch.
Yes, they are, Peter. You know, I love the Frisco ISD bands. They're really good. They're really coordinated. A lot of Frisco ISD bands actually make it to the final, the state final in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome, where they compete. Last year, I think Wakeland was the one that got in third place, and I think another FIST team got in the same, you know, percentile as well.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm not musically talented, so I'm truly impressed by these musicians out there.
And they probably think the same thing about our athletes, man. They're like, wow, I wish I could throw a ball like that or run like that. You know, it's just a two-way thing.
It's always great to see everyone have their own special niche that they fit into.
It's all about their specialty, man. Josh Foskey can throw a deep ball, but I don't think he can play tuba.
The ball is at the 52-yard line. It's being moved up.
48-yard line.
A 48-yard line, my bad.
It's now 1st and 10, ball at the 48-yard line, and they're going to kill the clock. And that is the end of the first half. Reedy, 17, the Colony, 14. We've seen a lot of
play.
And we've seen play. Actually, there's going to be one more play, and the clock went to 0.
So essentially what happened was that there was a foul on the previous play, meaning that the clock did run out, but that did give an opportunity for Reedy to have one last play before that clock ended. That's why you see 6 defenders for the Colony back at the end zone, making sure nothing happens.
And that looks like that is the end of the first half, unless there's some confusion going on with the ref and the coaches right here.
You see Reedy coming off the field, but then you see Colony players on the field waiting for a play to happen. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but
you know, there's always confusion when it comes to clock management towards the end of a half, a quarter, a game, and looks like there's just some confusion because I didn't see a flag go out or a penalty.
So essentially what happened was that Reedy called a timeout, meaning that there'll be a short break before we see the next play. But fully expect for the Colony to continue to have that 6 defensive back formation near the end zone, making sure that there's no way for Reedy to actually score. And it's just, it's difficult to see how the Colony is giving up these plays and allowing Reedy some more opportunities on offense.
It is now 1st and 10, ball on the 48-yard line, 3 seconds left in the first half, second quarter. And look at the
exactly 6 defensive backs at the end zone. They're just a safety blanket back there.
Yes, they are. They're doing deep, deep, deep zone right there. Shotgun formation, quadruples to the left side. Going to throw the
and it's a drop.
Drops. And that's the end of the first half. I'm Josh Webb, joined with Peter Chung. The score is 17-14. Reedy's up. There's been some ups and downs, but let's see what happens in the second half. You're watching this game on FSN.
Senior Lieutenant Adriana Gray. Senior First Lieutenant Lisa De Leon. And Senior Head Captain Abby Lawson. Tonight, the Tomcats will be performing a pop routine to Any Way You Want It. Ladies and gentlemen, the Colony High School Band. The Colony High School Band is under the direction of Michael Logan, Jeff Bridges, James Hopkins, and Ian Miller. The band appreciates the corporate sponsorship of Ashley Home Store, Baker Orthodontics and Smile Design, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and Rotolo's Pizzeria. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's hear it for the Colony High School Band.
game. 2 touchdowns, a sack, great PATs, and, man, he's just a great dynamic player. I'm thinking he's more dynamic than Miles Price.
Absolutely, and 2 plays in a row, the offensive line of the Cougars have failed the quarterback.
4th and 13, ball on the 48-yard line.
And that's going to be a real disappointment for the Cougars not being able to capitalize.
Number 11 is set to return. He's going to do... Is he going to do a fair catch? He touched it, and it'll be on the 15-yard line. Peter, I don't believe it.
It's the special teams. It is the special teams of the Cougars keeping them alive. How? Wow. You have dynamic players, Miles Price, you have Keith Miller, you have Mikey Harrington on the offense, but it's the special teams of the Colony Cougars keeping them in this game. I don't know how this is happening, but the referees are deliberating right now whether or not he actually touched the ball.
Peter, I don't believe it. What he should have done, I just can't believe it. What he should have done is he should have done a fair catch.
Of the Cougars are going to be really unhappy with the offense if they do another 3-and-out here.
It's now going to be shotgun formation. 3 trips close to the left side, 1 back in the backfield. The coach is still arguing with the ref.
They're clearly unhappy with the play call, thinking the player did not touch the ball.
Look at the right receiver all the way to the left side on the 20-yard line.
Watch that one-on-one.
Hand it out to number 1, and they lose about 2 to 3 yards on the play.
Jaden Abdallah once again with the ball, taking the ball outside, but he's unable to get anywhere because the defense of the Reedy Lions showing up.
Looks like Reedy's defense is actually still showing up in the game as you've seen before, man. They're just stepping up every single play.
And like the Colony coaches have to understand, the special teams can't do everything for them.
You're right. Well, I mean, unless you're the Cleveland Browns. But still, Harrington drops back, goes left side, and it's caught one-handed. Unbelievable. How? No flags. That is an Odell Beckham Jr. play right there. Oh, my goodness. Peter, did you see that?
Who was that?
That was number 88.
Keith Miller.
Oh, my gosh.
Once again.
Keith, what a playmaker.
What did we say about that one-on-one matchup all the way on the left side? You have the corner one-on-one with Keith Miller, and with Keith Miller's size, you cannot allow for him to get one-on-one.
Unreal.
It's unbelievable.
Look at that.
That's
left
the
side
play of the season.
Going up. That's no Odell Beckham.
That's going to be on every highlight reel, on every single high school sports highlight.
He threw that. He just rainbowed that pass, and he threw all his. My goodness!
What was the key to the game for the Colony?
He put
Harrington's arm.
Put all his faith in that pass, just hoping for a catch, and man, he delivered it with that one-handed catch.
That is unbelievable.
Unreal. That is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen in Texas high school football. Man, Peter, that is Texas high school football for you right there.
And Reedy is reeling right now, trying to figure out what to do.
You can't get that in any other state. Unbelievable. Wow, what a move by the Colony Cougars right there.
Keith Miller.
What a statement.
Keith Miller over 100 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns this game. What a game. You can't get better than this.
That is Texas high school football right there, Peter. Wow. I didn't even see the PAT. Honestly, I was so excited I didn't even see the PAT after that. I was just still focusing on that replay because, man. But to recap the PAT, they did make it. It's now 21-17, 9:25 left in the third quarter.
And
Peter, what an exciting quarter this is so far.
This is unbelievable.
You got special teams on your side. You got one-handed catches. I mean, unbelievable.
And, you have to just, I was worried that the Colony Cougars wouldn't get anything out of it because of how dominant the Reedy defense was. But what a stroke of luck, or stroke of skill, might I say, from Keith Miller.
So all these guys like to imitate Odell Beckham Jr.'s play style, but that isn't Odell. That is the most real Odell Beckham Jr. imitation I've seen in my life.
And you do this during games. You do during practice.
But you don't do it. It's like flag football or two-hand touch, but not in a game like this.
You don't see this often
Unreal.
in a high school football game, and it's got to be one of the best plays, if not the best play you're going to see this season.
You know, Peter, when I first saw that touchdown by Keith Miller, the 60-yard one in the first quarter, I'm like, this kid is special. He's got some potential. He's going to make some good plays tonight. And you know what? That was the best play of his high school career. And he's only a junior.
And the 3 touchdowns the Colony has had, each have gotten better. the first touchdown, a 60-yard touchdown reception by Keith Miller. I thought that was going to be the play of the game. Second touchdown was Miles Price, who juked around like 4 or 5 defenders to get that touchdown. I'm like, that was better than the first one. This one tops both of them together combined.
Foskey throws to the left side, little screen pass, not a screen pass, yeah, a little screen pass. It'll be about, they'll get about 0 yards on the play.
We'll have to see how Reedy responds, because they really need a strong showing right now.
Shotgun formation, Foskey drops back, getting pressured, looks left. He's going to keep the ball, going to get about 10 yards, more maybe first down, getting more yards, getting a block, and he'll be down at the 50-yard line. Man, I think they're going to answer, man. They're going to capitalize. They're going to answer on that last one-hand catch.
And that is what you want to see. That's the response you want to see. It's unfortunate. It seems number 14 is shaken up. He's getting back on his feet. It's good to see. But Foskey using his legs, not his arms this time. And right now, he seems like a dual threat. And that's really important to see, because once you have a dual threat quarterback, it's hard for the defense to adapt to that.
Well, Peter, the thing I like about Josh Foskey, he looks like he's like a Ray Lewis type. Not Ray Lewis. He's a Ben Roethlisberger type player. You know, he makes plays that shouldn't have happened.
Absolutely.
That play shouldn't have happened. He should have thrown it deep to the right side. But there's an injury on the field. We'll be right back after these messages.
And we're back with Frisco Sports Network. I'm Peter Chung, and this is Josh Webb. This is Reedy Lions on the offense.
Shotgun formation. Foskey's going to hand off to number 32, Ferrari. We should call him Ferrari by the end of the night because he's been a motorboat tonight. But I'll tell you this, man. When we went on that break, we were talking about that one-handed catch. That's play of the year, man. That's play of the year.
Absolutely. And
that's going to be on some huddle accounts. That's going to go viral.
And how the tables have turned. Because now the colony must be feeling pumped. They've got to have energy after that play.
Man, what a crazy turnout, man, right there. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right side. Motioning out to number 11. Hands off to number 32 again, who'll get about a 3-yard gain on the play.
Now we have Josh Foskey, who had a 24-4 touchdown interception ratio last year. He's been pretty solid this game. He's been clinical, getting the ball down the field, and he's been keeping it close enough for Reedy. Like, they had the lead for a while. It's all about controlling the tempo of this game now, trying to get the momentum back, because right now, the Colony are all over them.
Shotgun formation will throw it to Noah, who will get about a 4-yard gain on the play. It'll be about 4th and 2. Peter, do you think they should go for it or get the punting team?
I think they have to go for it right now, just because you have the momentum loss after that one-handed catch by Keith Miller. You have these referees watching you closely, and you have the fans wanting something big to happen.
Well, Peter, let me remind you this. When Odell Beckham Jr. made that catch in 2014 against the Cowboys still won. They didn't focus on it. They just focused on the fundamentals.
And Josh Foskey, what a truck.
It was actually number 2, Miles Price, who get the run up the middle. But like I was saying, Peter, 2014, OBJ makes that catch against the Cowboys secondary, and the fans couldn't stop thinking about it. But the Cowboys, it wasn't on their mind. They were still going to focus. They're still going to run the ball, pound the ball down the defender's throat, and they won. And I don't think for a moment that the Reedy Lions are focusing on that catch.
Absolutely.
They're focusing on themselves and getting first downs like they did right now.
But what was funny to see was that after that game and the week after, that was the only thing they could talk about, the catch.
Yep. drops back, throws to the right. Foskey, his towel actually falls off, and that'll be a first down.
That was a good throw by Foskey, finding his wide receiver out wide. There's a player shaken up from the Colony. It's going to be an injury timeout. But Foskey bringing them back into this game, and that's what you like to see with a quarterback, someone that controls the tempo and brings them back into the game when they lose momentum.
I agree with you, Peter. We'll be back with you right after these messages. Timeout. Peter, tell me about this. What are your thoughts on this quarter so far?
It's been exciting just to see the Colony, like the special teams plays first of all, and then their offense coming in clutch.
Number 2 and number 32 will get about a 5 to 6 yard gain on the play. Man, Reedy's forte tonight has been their running game. Their specialty has been, and their running game has been their favorite tonight. I mean,
when you have such a playmaker in Foskey and some great running game.
Yep.
That's a tough thing for the defense to beat.
Foskey's getting some plays from the sidelines from his coaches. One receiver to the left, one receiver to the right. Secondary and man coverage. Foskey's dropping back, looks left. There's number 1, Noah, who will get about a 7 yard gain or 5 yard gain. Let me know for a first down. They'll be down on the 8 yard line.
So we see Foskey getting a bit more chances with his arm, but we always want to make sure that he always wants to make sure that all his reads are down pat and he gets the safe pass to get them back into this game, because the one thing you don't want after that kind of huge play by the wide receiver is to lose the ball again and give the ball back towards the Colony.
And you were right, Peter. First and goal, shotgun formation, motioning out number 11 to the left side. Foskey's going to hand off to number 32, his trusty fullback, who'll get enough yards for about a 4 yard gain, and now it's 1st and 3.
And Michael Ferrara, their running back / fullback, has been very, very effective this game so far.
And that'll be 2nd and goal, ball on the 4 yard line. Looks like they're getting plays from the sideline. Peter, the thing I like about the Reedy offense is that they take their time. They're not too fast like Frisco, because Frisco is way too fast and they made a lot of mistakes. They're rushing way too fast last week.
And I applaud the coaches of the Reedy Lions, because they understand they can't expect like a huge play to happen. They need to be slow with it.
Foskey can him to the middle of number 32. Will get his 3rd touchdown of the night.
And there it is.
Wow. At this point, I'm not even surprised. When you have 32 in the gut right there, going up there with a slam belly play like that, you're bound to get a touchdown.
And it's back and forth football, and that it really is fascinating to see, because you see Keith Miller make a huge play on that drive for the Colony. All of a sudden, the Reedy Lions have completely nullified the momentum that Colony has, and they're back in the lead. The Colony is the one that now has to respond.
Of course. Okay, looks like number 2, Will Harbor,
who's triple threat.
Triple threat. It's funny because Miles Price and Will Harbor have the same number. They're both triple threats.
Exactly, and it's Miles Price isn't the kicker for the team, but he is the special teams returner for the Colony. And
listen, they're special teams, defense, and offense. That's their specialties right there.
And I'm going to be frank, Miles Price is getting most of the hype going into this game, getting most of the offers going into this game, but Will Harbor has been dominant.
And looks like the Reedy flag crew will celebrate as the Reedy Lions will get another touchdown yet again.
A little mix-up of letters right there.
Yeah, HRS, High School Reedy School.
High Reedy School.
High Reedy School.
There we go.
No, but now it's 24-21. It will now be, there'll be 4 minutes and 43 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. But like I was saying, Peter, man, you got to have that one triple threat or double threat player and they can win a game for you.
Absolutely, and something else we have to understand is that it's not just those two players that are dominating this game. You have the arms of Foskey and Harrington you can trust, and then you also have some wide receivers in Keith Miller and Logan West for the Colony and Reedy respectively, who are making plays for both teams.
I'm telling you, man, Peter, I'm going to say this right. I'm going to say this every quarter, man. Keith Miller is a standout receiver. He got mossed. He got mossed.
He did get mossed.
I usually don't say that about high school receivers, but he got about defenders, but he got mossed.
And the one thing I'm still confused about is why is Reedy single teaming him?
Yeah, I know. They should be double teaming him on man coverage, not zone.
Oh, and there's Miles Price.
Miles Price, and he'll be down at the 40-yard line.
Or that's number 14.
Number 14, and that is going to be Wade Simmons, who is a junior. There's a lot of juniors and sophomores on this team.
And that's going to be really, really good for the Colony going into next season because they have a lot of experience.
And they'll keep the same players because teams like Lone Star and teams like Independence lost a lot of seniors last year. Lone Star lost, who was their quarterback?
MJ Rivers.
MJ Rivers. Independence lost Kevin Dick. Man, they're losing. Losing a lot of games.
And it's going to be exciting to see how all of these Frisco ISD teams come back up and try to have an impact in the district.
It is now 24-21. Reedy is leading. Play clock starts right now. Shotgun formation, doubles to the left side, hands off to number 1, or actually number 2, and it'll be enough for about 4 yards on the play. And there's a flag on the field right now.
And something we've seen is that these two teams have taken different approaches when it comes to scoring touchdowns. All 3 of the Colony's touchdowns have been big plays. A 60-yard touchdown pass to Keith Miller, a 40-yard pass to, or a short pass to Miles Price, who juked 4 defenders and ran 40 yards for the touchdown, and then a one-handed catch for Keith Miller. All big plays. Reedy choosing to take the slow and cautious approach, trying to nullify the momentum of the opposing team. And both sides have been working. It's all about whether or not the defense can stand up against the offense.
It is now 1st and 20. Flags have been prevalent on the Colony side, obviously. But don't be surprised if Harrington just throws it deep, like I say. You know, number 88, Keith Miller, is going to do that one-handed again. I don't think he'll do the one-handed, but he'll do something miraculous again. Harrington dropping back, looking left,
and
throws,
it's a tip, but it still gets the wide receiver.
Harrington, and he's going to throw it to Keith Miller, who get about 13 yards on the play. It'll now be 2nd and 8. Ball on the 42-yard line.
So we have Reedy. What were the 2 keys to the game for Reedy? Less penalties and trusting Harrington's arm. They've done both, and they're back in this game.
Yep.
I don't think Reedy has had a penalty since the half, right?
Nope, they have not. Yeah. Shotgun formation. Harrington drops back, getting pressure from the left side. We'll throw it to number 32, who'll get another one-handed catch.
Number 32 for Colony, which is Marcus Moore, their tight end. A nifty one-handed catch for them, gaining a few yards. Eventually tackled, though, out of bounds.
It is now 33. Ball on the 46-yard line. Don't be surprised if it's a play action. Oh, and there is some confusion. They're going to get a play call from the sideline.
And let's see this. You see that safety up top, looking to double team Keith Miller.
Hand off to number 1 up the middle, and that's enough for a first down and more. And they'll be down on the 46-yard line. Peter, this Colony team is really stepping up in the second half.
Absolutely.
Despite the penalties, but still, I mean, a one-handed and some good running game that'll make you win some football games.
And I think Reedy's finally heeded our advice. You see a safety slowly approaching where Keith Miller is, trying to get that double team, making sure he doesn't make any big plays.
And Peter, you know who has been catching my eye tonight? Yeah. Matthew Hoots. He's been pressuring the quarterback all night tonight. He's gotten, 2 sacks?
1 or 2 sacks, yeah.
And he also had a blocked punt, too. So
he's been all over the field.
Shout out to Matthew Hoots for being a great playmaker tonight. Number 1 up the middle, maybe more, inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10, and he'll be down at the 5-yard line. That's what you call execution.
Jaden Abdallah, who's been pretty quiet this game for the Colony, all of a sudden he's blowing up the field, getting around 30 to 40 yards for the Colony Cougars, and they're quickly getting to the line.
I'm telling you, Peter, the Colony Cougars are on the come up right here. Shotgun formation. Hand off to number 1 again, his trusted running back, and he'll get about 2 to 3 yards on the play. He'll get stuffed on the line of scrimmage. It will now be 2nd and goal, ball on the 5-yard line.
And coming into this half, the Colony Cougars had -4 yards. Now all of a sudden they're trusting their running back who's making plays for them, and it's really paying off.
They're waiting for a play from the sideline from the coaches. You know, the thing I like about coaches in football, they do all these hand signals. I think football is the only profession where you're required to say the most random things, like chocolate scissors on 3, okay, let's go, break. You know, it's just so funny. Have you seen Payne Manning with all those audibles?
Yeah.
But it's funny. Harrington will hand it off the middle to number 1, and that is not enough for a touchdown, but that is on the 2nd-yard line. 3rd and goal on the 2nd-yard line with 2:25 left in the 3rd quarter.
And going back to the coach, it's always great to see how intense and passionate they get during the game, going past the sideline, getting actually onto the field, like you see the Reedy coach right now. But it's always great to see how they're getting a lot more involved than some of the players are.
3rd and goal, ball on the 1-yard line, getting a play from the sideline. And they're going to do a QB sneak up the middle, and is it good for a touchdown? No, they'll be brought back. Peter, what do you think they should do? Kick a field goal or just go for it?
They're down by 3 points right now. I think the smart move would get the field goal tied up. There's a player shaken up, but hopefully he gets back up. But I think the smart move for the Colony is to get that field goal tied up, be safe with it. If they do happen to go for it and they miss, what ends up happening is that they're going to go into the next series with Reedy having the ball and them down 3 points.
It is now 4th and goal, ball on the 1-yard line. If the Colony does not make this, the Reedy Lions will recover the ball, turnover on downs at the 1-yard line. And there's a timeout. I'm Josh Webb with Peter Chung, and this is the first timeout taken by the Colony. We'll be back right after these messages. And we are back. Thank you for watching FSN on Mascot Media. The score is 24-21. Reedy is up by 3 points, and it's now 4th and goal. Peter, I don't know if they're going to make it this time, but they have number 1. And there's a drop snap, bot snap. Number 1 looking for someone who's open, and there's going to be a flag on the play.
It's actually for Colony, Jaden Abdallah, who was in the quarterback formation, so probably a Wildcat looking to rush the ball in, but let's see what the foul is for, or the flag's for.
Looks like it was a holding or a false start, but it's now going to be 4th and 5.
4th and 6.
4th and 6. 4th and goal, ball on the 6-yard line.
And they're going for the smart move now, looking for that kick.
What they should have done, Peter, I predicted this earlier, Peter. I said I think this game might go on a tie, but I'm not sure. I don't want to say it on live air because I don't want to be like one of those guys who predicts false predictions, but this game could very turn out to be a tie.
Watch out for number 24, Matthew Hoots.
He's going to block that kick, man. He's got it in him, and it's almost blocked, but the kick is up, and it's good.
It's now a tie game. The Colony 24, Reedy Lions 24. This has been undoubtedly the most exciting quarter of this game.
And it's only 2 weeks in, but I think it's one of the most exciting quarters of this season. One-handed catches, Kicks.
You have Reedy going down the field, scoring another touchdown. You have back and forth play, and you have some missed snaps.
Yep. It's just been a very exciting quarter. Yes, there's been a few flags down the road, but it's not stopping these teams from scoring, man.
Let's see those signs by those fans. You see a Colony fan, let's 88. And number 88 for the Colony, making plays, Keith Miller. What do you think of him today?
Just one word. Well, it's technically two, but playmaker, man. Playmaker. He's a superstar, man. I'm telling you that right now. And he's only a junior. He looks like he's about 6'3". He's got big hands. He's just a dynamic.
No, it's unbelievable. So look,
playmaker.
You have Miles Price, a junior. You have their quarterback, Mikey Harrington, a junior. Then you have their wide receiver, Keith Miller, a junior, all coming back next year.
He's just lightning in a bottle. They're going to fair catch it at the 25-yard line. But, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be so excited to see Colony next year with all three of those playmakers coming back.
Keith Miller, he's just a playmaker. He's lightning in a bottle. He's electrifying. And let's see what this Reedy offense can do on
And
this
I don't think
series.
there's any doubt. That play is going to be on every highlight reel you'll find.
And our voices will be on YouTube, man. Our big break, Peter. Okay, Peter, the Reedy offense is on the field led by Josh Foskey. Hey, don't be surprised if they play conservative right here, man. There's 1 minute left in the third quarter. I think they should just play smart and just run the ball down their throat.
They've taken out Jaden Abdallah for number 20, Lawrence Smith.
Number 20 gets the run up the middle, and you get about a 5-yard gain on the play.
What do you think of Reedy's decision to go from their senior running back, Jaden Abdallah, who's been decent in the third quarter, to a new sophomore, Lawrence Smith, running back?
Well, the thing is, running backs get very fatigued early. They get very tired. You always want to switch in your running backs. That's why when you see in the NFL, you see guys like Zeke Elliott trading with other backup running backs because you don't want them to get them hurt, tired, or fatigued. So I think it's a smart move to put him Lawrence Smith because give the guy a chance, because he can make some plays. Foskey rolling right side, throwing deep to number 1, and he catches it inside the 40, spins his way on the tackler, getting a block inside the 30, inside the 20, inside the 10, and he'll be down at the 5-yard line.
What a play.
Unbelievable.
That was all Foskey. It was a play-action pass. All three defensive linemen bit on the running back, Lawrence Smith. Foskey had a free rein to number 1, the wide receiver, the tight end, Nolan Matthews, the senior, who makes a huge play getting down to the 4-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds by the Colony Cougars, but, I mean, it's back and forth, back and forth.
Unbelievable, man. This is the most exciting quarter I've ever broadcasted in my life. Big play after big play, touchdown after touchdown, one-handed catches, spinning juke moves. I mean, you know it. You say it all, man. I'm telling you, Nolan Matthews, tight end who's a senior, has been making all these big plays tonight, and that's one of the biggest of his season.
And before this half, there were, 3 touchdowns in the first half? There might be 3 touchdowns or 4 in this quarter.
Well, we got 24 seconds left. I don't know if that's going to happen unless Harrington just throws it deep and rainbows that pass to number 88, Keith Miller.
It seems like they're taking a little break from the game. What takeaways have you made so far for the Reedy Lions offense?
First of all, ball control. Throwing it in the air, man, making right plays. Josh Foskey with his quick moves. I mean, just threading the needle in certain crucial situations. It just all comes down to ball control, and they're doing a great job of conserving that. How about you, Peter? What are some of your takeaways from the Colony defense?
Oh, well, the Colony defense coming in, the huge storyline was whether or not Miles Price would make plays, whether the secondary or the 2 safeties there, who were Derek Green and Cameron Pear, because they were the leading tacklers last game, but it was all about the secondary. I don't think it's really been about the secondary this game so far. It's been about the Colony defensive line not being able to stop or pressure Josh Foskey.
It is now first down and goal on the 30-yard line. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Peter, don't be surprised if they run it up the middle.
Absolutely. You have Josh Foskey, and then you still have Lawrence Smith in the game.
Shotgun formation, motioning on number 20. Foskey going to do a QB sneak, going to do a keeper, and he'll get about a yard on the play to 0.
You see the Reedy coaches trusting Josh Foskey's leg, but it was clear the Colony defense wasn't falling for that little trap.
It is now 2nd and goal. Josh Foskey getting some plays from the sideline.
And they're running out the quarter.
And they're going to, run out the quarter. That is the end of the 3rd quarter. I'm Joshua with Peter Chung. You're watching Reedy versus the Colony on FSN. We'll be right back after these messages. Shotgun formation, 2nd and goal. 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter. He's going to hand off to number 20 up the middle, and looks like they're going to be stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and he's still getting taken back.
And the Colony defense showing resilience right now, which is really surprising, seeing as in the past 3 quarters, Josh Foskey and the running backs have had their had their way.
You know, the impression that the Colony defense gave me in the red zone was that they just give up and they just let the running game go through them. But the resilience they're showing us right now, I mean, it's like saying something else, Peter.
And the Colony defensive coordinator clearly wants to see a change in their mentalities in this 4th quarter.
Okay, Peter, 11:26 left in the 4th quarter. They're running the clock out, which is kind of smart. You know, you want to have some good clock management. Now they're going to have a weird formation.
I've never seen that before.
Number 2, Harbor, is going to get some blocks to the right side. And is he going to be in for a touchdown? And it is in!
It's a touchdown.
He just bulldozes himself in for a touchdown, and that's Will Harbor's 4th of the game. And Peter, tell us about next week's game from Lone Star.
So we have next week's game. We have Highland Park versus Lone Star. First of all, this is a must-see for anyone in Texas because we have 2 powerhouse schools, especially Highland Park, who are going to give us a very exciting game next week. It's going to be Thursday, September 13th, 7 p.m. at Memorial Stadium. Frisco Sports Network, FSN, will be broadcasting it. Hopefully, you we definitely want you to watch. And if you don't feel like you're a fan of Highland Park or Lone Star, if you're a fan of good football, you want to watch this game.
I mean, it's all about good football, man. It's like the Super Bowl for FISD, essentially, you know. But still, back to the game. Reedy just scored, and they have a PAT, and they did fix their flag crew now.
It's RHS now. Reedy High School instead of High Reedy School.
And there is a Saturdays for the Boys. That's actually that that expression is from Rob Gronkowski, the 6'8" tight end from the Patriots.
So we have coaches huddling up their special teams units. We've seen a lot of good special teams play, especially from the Colony. So we'll have to see how the Colony is going to utilize their special teams this time. I'm always, like, whenever the special teams comes out for the Cougars, I'm always excited to see what happens. And now we see those fans dancing in the background. It's always nice to see the fans enjoying themselves. A large part of high school football is these fans that come out to watch the players.
Looks like Harbor is going to be off to kick.
As a fan, like, how excited would you be to be, like, a part of this game and watching these huge plays happen?
I'll tell you from both perspectives. If I was a Colony fan, I would still, you know, talk about the, excuse me, I got the hiccups. I would still talk about that one-handed catch. If I was a Reedy fan, I'd be talking about that explosiveness from Josh Foskey and the offensive line in the running game.
And so we have Josh Foskey, who's been very, very effective for the Reedy Lions, but we now have Miles Price bringing the ball back up, hits his own player, and then he's dropped back around behind the 10-yard line, which is very, very unfortunate for the Colony Cougars, who really need to come back and tie this game up.
11 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be on the 11-yard line.
Right now we have Josh Webb, who's having a bit of technical difficulties, so I'll be taking over both play-by-play and color commentary. So right now we have the Colony offense coming back to the line of scrimmage, the Reedy defense also there, trying to stop them and trying to retain their lead. We have Harrington in the shotgun formation with Abdallah next to him. Harrington in the shotgun snaps the ball, rushes forward, scrambling to his right, running past 2 defenders, getting around 3 or 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6 in my opinion, or maybe 2nd and 7. But it's a very heads-up play by the quarterback Harrington, who understood that his receivers were all covered, and so he's able to gain a few yards on the play. It's actually 2nd and 8, but good eyesight by Harrington to find a few yards. We have Keith Miller, which is surprising to me. He's going to be one-on-one with number 25 for the Reedy Lions, Gunnar Locke, or number 26 for the Reedy Lions, Cooper Wilson. You never want to put Keith Miller one-on-one with another cornerback in this game.
I am back in the game after those technical difficulties. Harrington drops back, looking left, looking for a man who's wide open. He'll throw it to number 2, and it'll go through the hands. I'll say this, Peter. In terms of dynamicness, or the dynamic aspect of these two players, I think Will Harbor has had a better game than
Absolutely.
Miles Price.
Miles Price has been pressured since the first snap of this game, because he's been in every aspect of the Colony's game, but there are some simple passes that he's just dropped and that have fallen through his hands that could have given the Colony a bit of an edge.
I mean, he did have that great play before the
before touchdown. Yes.
Yeah. But still, man, you got to stay consistent with these kinds of plays, man.
Especially in a game that's this open.
Harrington in the shotgun, getting sacked on the play by number 24 Hoots, but there will be a flag on the play. See
Hoots,
what it is.
Once
and
again,
it's holding
right there, and it's probably going to be declined in my opinion.
Of course.
And the Reedy Lions, the coaching staff, obviously very happy with Hoots' performance. That's his 2nd or 3rd sack this game, and he had 11 last season. I can see him easily breaking that in the first half of the season.
So now it'll be 4th and 13, ball on the 8-yard line. Looks like the punting crew is going to be on the field to set and punt the ball. Number 11 on the Reedy Lions, Ryan Middleton, is going to be returning the ball today on the 50-yard line. Let's see if he actually fair catches this time.
And it's so important to have a defensive line playmaker like Hoots, who's able to get past this scrappy offensive line of the Colony Cougars.
And it's almost blocked, and that's a terrible punt. And he's going to fair catch it, and the ball will be down on the 46-yard line. You know, Peter, there's a common terminology in football. So when you punt the ball, your defenders on the punt return team say, Peter, 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 to get away from the ball. I don't know why, but it's been in football for many decades. I remember saying it, and there was this teammate of mine named Peter. Peter, I forgot his last name, but he was in middle school, and would always say, Peter, Peter, Peter. And so I just thought it was kind of funny that they're doing that.
That's pretty. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's pretty funny to hear when. I actually am very curious how that originated.
Well, there is a backstory, but we're not going to be talking about that because it's not appropriate. But Josh Foskey in the shotgun formation with one back in the backfield. Gets the snap. Going to hand it off to number 32. His right-hand man gets a block inside the 40, and you'll get about... And he's still up on his feet, and you'll be down at the 39-yard line.
Number 8 for the Colony, Cameron Sargent, was there to stop his forward progress, but what ended up happening was that it was just Michael Ferrara acting like a Ferrari.
A green Ferrari, I'll say that right there. He is the green Ferrari tonight. He just... You know, he has that horsepower, he has that speed, man. He's got that aerodynamicness of him, man. I'll tell you that right now. Ferrara and Harbor and Foskey, man, that's a trio right there. Foskey gets the snap, throwing right, a quick pass, number 80. He'll get about a first down. He'll go down on the 30-yard line. They're moving quick, Peter. They're moving quick. It's a conservative type play style right here, I'm saying.
And that's a great throw by Josh Foskey, quickly finding his number 80, Bennett Meekum, out wide, who grabbed the ball and was able to get around, get a first down actually for the Reedy Lions.
Peter, you know what I noticed about this Reedy team? There is a lot of sophomores. A
Abs-
lot of sophomores. So when they're going to be losing a lot of key players next year. You got to keep on the eye for that next year. Shotgun formation, motioning out to the left side. He's going to have number 20, the sophomore running back, and there is a flag on the play. He did have an explosive start, but he was taken down by his legs.
And those senior losses are going to be huge for Reedy because I think all, if not most, of their playmakers are seniors. You have sophomore Lawrence Smith, who's been getting some touches this game, but he hasn't been really effective so far in this fourth quarter.
And there was a holding call on the offense, and looks like they're going to change the personnel out there. Number 32, Will Harbor, who's going to be, not Will Harbor, number Michael Ferreira, the Ferrari, is going to be on the field, and it'll now be 1st and 20, ball on the 40-yard line. 9 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. Peter, what are your thoughts on this quarter so far? It's been kind of slow, but
I think Michael Ferrara, his play style sums up this quarter so far.
of course,
Very consistent, very progressive. Oh, and what a pass!
he'll be down at the 20-yard line. Number 80, Bennett Meekum has been, he's been the tone setter for this quarter too. He's been summing it up every single play, man.
We haven't really seen him in the first 3 quarters, but Bennett Meekum showing up in the fourth quarter, and I think the fourth quarter really is where it matters, because if they score a touchdown, Reedy High School is going to solidify their lead with around 8 minutes left. So we'll have to see how they react. It was a good pass by Foskey over the middle to find Meekum, who was wide open, and there was a cornerback trailing him.
Shotgun formation, one running back in the backfield. Foskey handing off to, and he gets flipped. There's a fumble. First turnover of the game by the Reedy Lions, and the Colony Cougars will recover it on the 24-yard line.
And that is number, I believe that's number 30 for the Colony.
And there's a debate on who has the ball, man. I think he was down. I don't know. And he was down by contact right there. The big break for the Reedy Lions.
And
But still,
Dom Puentes, the linebacker for the Colony Cougars, is going to be disappointed with that one. He's been pretty quiet so far this game, along with the whole Colony defense, and they really needed that to boost up their confidence.
and there's going to be a timeout by the Reedy Lions. The coach is giving out the timeout signal. There's some confusion on the field right now after that play.
It seems the coach and the referee are discussing what exactly has happened. We're going to see a deliberation right here by the referee.
There's some booing on the field right now. Unhappy fans on the Colony side.
And I'd expect them to be unhappy because I'd expect the coaches for Reedy to be unhappy because Reedy, the Lions were on a roll, and this stoppage has really halted their momentum a little bit.
And looks like they're going to do play ball right here. Shotgun formation. Josh Foskey in the shotgun. One back in the backfield. He's going to hand it off to number 25. Will be taken down at the 22-yard line.
That was a good play by Foskey, handing the ball off easily to number 25 of Reedy, which is Gunnar Locke, a senior running back. He hasn't really had that many touches. I think this is his first touch of the game. Gaining some yards for the Lions, though.
The thing I like about the Reedy Lions is they're alternating all their key running backs. You know, Gunnar Locke, number 32, Michael Ferreira. Because, you know, when in the NFL, they alternate running backs all the time to keep them safe and healthy.
They have running backs by committee.
Yep, they do. Shotgun formation, Gunnar Locke in the backfield. Josh Foskey getting the snap. Going to do a fake handoff, going to throw to the left side, and he's going to catch it, number 80. He's been a big playmaker in this quarter. We haven't seen much of him in the last other 3 quarters, but man, this quarter he's just been a shining star.
I think Bennett Meekum is starting to get back a little bit more into this game just because of how focused this defense is on Josh Foskey, how focused they are on Michael Ferrara, Will Harbor. And so that frees up some chances for other players like Bennett Meekum, like their wide receiver, like their tight end Nolan Matthews. They're getting more chances to perform.
You're right, Peter. It is now 4th and 1. They didn't get the first down, but they're going to go for it. They're going to take the chance. Shotgun formation. Small trips to the left side. And there's going to be a timeout taken by the Reedy Lions. And we'll be back right after these messages. And we are back, 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. Number 2, Farrah, and is he going to get it? And
interesting play call.
He does. Man, what a playmaker he is.
That's an interesting play call by the Reedy coach. He has Josh Foskey, who has a great arm, but he decides to opt for Michael Ferrara.
Well, that's the smart thing to do, Peter, because it's 4th and 1. You have 1 yard left. I think you should get your fullback and just run it and just gut through it, man.
Absolutely, and it paid off because they had a first down, a first and goal actually, and it looks like they're going to be taking full advantage of it, trying to solidify their lead.
It is now 1st and 10, ball on the 9 yard line. Actually, 1st and goal. Shotgun formation, as always. Foskey rolls the right side, getting pressured, avoids the sack, and he drops the ball. It's a fumble. Unreal. On the 8 yard line. He just dropped it like he had butter on his hands.
That is very, very, very heartbreaking for Reedy because they had a chance to go 14 up right there. But what ended up happening was that Foskey rolled outright. He did a very good job of eluding the first defender, but when he came to the second defender, he just dropped the ball. There you see the Colony very, very excited with that play and have an opportunity to tie this game up. Reedy, it's been a very scratchy series so far. There's a player shaken up on the Colony sideline. Hopefully he gets a little bit better. We'll be back after this injury timeout.
It's now 1st and 10. Ball on the 9 yard line. 6 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. And Reedy now has the first turnover of the game. Peter, what are your thoughts?
I think that's that's going to be what if the Colony come back. That's going to be what Reedy goes back to during the film session to see how the whole momentum shifted.
Shotgun formation, Harrington. Going to hand it off to number 1. It's going to be a trick play to the left side. Getting a blocker there, and he'll get about a 4 yard gain. You know, so much for nothing.
it's a lot of flashy moves, a lot of pitches, back and forth between players, and it ended up getting a few yards for them, but wasn't really all the effort.
Shotgun formation, Harrington. Looks like they're going to speed things up on this drive. Getting a play from the sideline right here, getting some hand singles here and there for a new play.
You see that safety getting closer and closer to Keith Miller, trying to double team that.
Yep. Man coverage, man, it's important, especially against guys like that on short plays. It's going to be now 3rd and 6.
And that's why Keith Miller is so important, because he's taking 2 defenders outside of the play. So, like, when So when Michael Ferraro is actually running, there's 2 defenders that won't be there to stop him. So now we have both teams looking towards the sideline for the play call, but having a playmaker like Keith Miller taking away defenders from the action area is really, really key for the Colony success.
3rd and 5. Harrington looking for a wide open spot, and he's going to be sacked. It looks like he's going to be sacked by number 65 and 7. Number 7 is going to be Trevor Jones, linebacker, who's a senior, and that's his big break of the game.
And that's going to be another 3 and out for the Colony Cougars, and they're going to be disappointed with that because their defense came up with a turnover.
And they could have had the opportunity.
They had a chance here.
Had it.
Reedy is going to breathe a sigh of relief because they had a chance to close out the game right there.
4 minutes and 22 seconds left in the game. 4th and 5. Ball on the 14-yard line. Number 12 is going to punt it almost off the goal line right there. And it's blocked by Matthew Hoots, his 2nd block of the game. What a game he's had today.
Matthew Hoots is all over the place. He's had sacks, he's had block punts, he's had pressures on the quarterback. I mean, what does he not do? There's a flag for excessive celebration though. So
unsportsmanlike conduct right there,
yes.
But still, I would be celebrating like that too. You got multiple sacks, 2 block punts. I mean, there is a reason why. Wow, what a play.
I believe that is a safety, I think.
I mean, great way to capitalize right there.
And Matthew Hoots is exhilarated after that play. And so is the defense, so is the defense of the Reedy Lions. Yes, that is a safety. That will be a 9-point difference now. So two possession difference. But there is an unsportsmanlike conduct on Matthew Hoots. But he should have a little leeway to celebrate after that.
Of course. Peter, what a great job of Reedy for capitalizing after that horrendous play by Josh Foskey when he dropped the ball.
And in the beginning of the 4th quarter, we promoted the game between Highland Park and Lone Star, and we're talking about how that was a must-see. I think this game is going to make Highland Park and Lone Star seem a bit less exciting as it would be, just because of how many huge plays there were.
It's now going to be 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. So, Peter, let me ask you this. You think Reedy can score and capitalize, or just run the clock down?
The Reedy's going to get this ball back because of the safety. Ideally, they'd at least get a field goal just to seal it up a bit.
Just seal the deal, man, and say go home.
But I think either way, they'll be happy with just taking maybe 2 or 3 minutes off the clock.
Yep.
Because once they take those, once they control the clock, take that time off, it's really hard for the Colony to maximize the amount of time they have.
4 minutes and 8 seconds. Don't be surprised if the Colony is like a little short punt right here, because you have to do a punt right after your safety. But number 4, Logan West, is going to be returning this ball. He's going to be the intended returner. But still, way to capitalize.
This really has been a back-and-forth game. 4th quarter, Reedy has really solidified their position. But up until the 3rd quarter, I thought the Colony was actually going to be the one to decide this game.
I just can't say this enough, man. Great job by Reedy for capitalizing on that play, man. Because I thought it was just devastating to see Josh Foskey just drop that ball, man, and just fumble it, and lose hope. I actually lost hope for that for a second. But nope, they capitalize, and Matthew Hoots, man, savior of the game. We've had some good key players tonight. Matthew Hoots, we've got Will Harbor, we've got Michael Ferreira, and last but not least, Josh Foskey.
And I think it's been interesting because I feel like the more dynamic offense has been the Colony, but the stronger defense has actually been Reedy. They've been a lot more solid.
Looks like there's going to be a delayed late tackle on that.
And the Reedy sideline is very, very energetic and wanting that foul called.
So, do you think Reedy will capitalize on this play and just score?
So let's take a look at Reedy's schedule for the upcoming season. They have a lot of cool district games that are coming up that are going to be very important for the future success of their team.
So next week they're going to be playing Lake Dallas at Lake Dallas. Then after that they're going to be playing Denison at Toyota. Then on the 27th of September they're going to be playing Frisco at Ford Stadium, the Ford Star. And on the 4th of October they're going to be playing Memorial, the new upcoming team, at the Ford Center. And on the 12th they're going to be playing Lovejoy at Lovejoy. On the 19th of October they're going to be playing Denton Broswell at FISD Memorial Stadium. And on the 26th, they're going to be playing Lebanon Trail, the new upcoming varsity team, at the Ford Center. And on the 2nd of November, they're going to have a bye week. And to finish the season off, they're going to be playing Princeton, not the college, Princeton High School at the Memorial Stadium.
And Josh, these district games against Frisco teams are going to be extremely important to decide where they rank off and whether or not they can truly start off the playoffs in a good seeded position.
Well, Peter, I hate to give those other teams a bad rep, but I think their schedule is fairly easy. Because Frisco, they won 0-10 last year. Memorial's a new team. Lebanon Trail's a new varsity team. But Lebanon Trail actually shocked the district by winning last week.
Absolutely.
I think the score was 27 to, I don't know. But they did win by a big point margin.
And I think part of the reason is because Lebanon Trail, those players have been playing together for 3 years now.
They have chemistry, man.
And another team that has chemistry right now, the Reedy Lions.
Yep, they do.
Foskey handing the ball off.
And it would be taken back and it would be just stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. But that doesn't matter because they're still in the league and there's 4 minutes left in the game.
And you can see the Colony bench quiet after that huge safety.
Hey, but it is humbling.
I have a question for you, Josh, because there's been a lot of good dynamic players for both teams, especially on the Reedy defense. Who do you think has had a better game, Will Harbor or Matthew Hoots?
Matthew Hoots, he's been making some big plays, big stops, capitalizing. That's a big factor in his game today. But I think it's Matthew Hoots because he's had, 3 or 4 sacks? He's had 2 blocked punts. That's not even college players make those kind of numbers or make those kind of plays. But still, it's just crazy.
I think it's just a testament to how diverse their defense is. If we ended the game after the first half, Will Harbor would have by far strolled away with that player of the game MVP. But right now, I think that Matthew Hoots has made a lot more plays. A name for himself, absolutely, but a lot more plays throughout this whole game.
Well, I'm actually disappointed in Price, who is on the defense, and he has the Colony secondary hasn't been producing today. They've been letting up a lot of big passes. Their defensive line has been really good, but their secondaries hasn't been good. Foss is going to throw to the right side, number 11, who's going to be down at the 46-yard line.
And that's number 11 for Reedy High School, Ryan Middleton, the senior, who catches the ball on the right side of the field. And he had number 4 there, Logan West, who's trying to block, but instead Logan West hits the defender into Ryan Middleton, and so they were brought down at the 46-yard line.
2 minutes and 17 minutes left in the game. 1st and 10, ball on the 46-yard line. I predicted it, man. Reedy's going to be smart with this clock. They're just going to run it down their throats and just go from there.
And from what we can see, I think your pregame prediction is going to come true. Reedy's going to win this game.
I told you, man, I have faith in Josh Foskey in that offensive line. They got a big offensive line. Foskey has number 20, the new running back, the sophomore, and he'll be down at the 43-yard line.
And the one saving grace that I really had for the Colony was their secondary. And I thought they were going to show up not only passing-wise and stopping passes and getting interceptions, but I thought they were going to be very aggressive and be blitzing as well. But right now, the Reedy offensive line has been holding back the defense of the Colony Cougars. And I think because they nullified the biggest threat of the secondary, they were able to make sure that they were effective throughout the whole game.
So clock management is detrimental to any team. It's very important. And if you really screw up like Frisco did last week, it's going to cost you. And Reedy's doing a great job of managing the clock.
And that's really a testament to the coaching staff who've been very smart with the play calling so far.
A minute and 13 seconds left in the game. Peter, what was your favorite moment of the game?
Oh,
wait, I don't even have to ask that, man. It's the one-handed catch. We all know it was.
You can't choose anything else other than that one-handed catch. I think it's not only the play of the game. It's the Colony's play of the season, but also the play of the year within this district. And the ball's handed off to Lawrence Smith, the sophomore, who brushes off 2 defenders and gets a gain of 3 yards.
First and minute and 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Second timeout of the game for the Colony. We're also seeing these players being substituted in this game.
Well, you should always do that because you don't want to risk anything. Put your backup quarterback, put your backup running back, but you can hear the Reedy student section saying, nah, hey, go, goodbye.
And it's always great to see these Colony fans still having fun, even though their team's losing, and that's what Texas high school football is about.
Just bonding with your friends,
absolutely.
seeing some great plays. And they witnessed one of the greatest plays, and honestly, the greatest plays what I've ever seen in my life.
And it's been a real blessing to be part of this game and commentating this game, being able to
witness great plays like that.
It's not just that one-handed catch. A lot of the touchdowns were a pleasure to watch.
It's a pleasure. So we're going to put Josh Foskey still in, with the minute and 6 seconds left. He probably said, Coach, nope, I still want to play, man. I'm going to get every snap.
We've been getting on Miles Price about him not really making huge plays, but he did have that touchdown pass in the I believe in the first half, right?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
It was where he juked 4 defenders, and I think that really showed his full capabilities right there.
And number 32, Michael Ferreira, the green Ferrari, will get a first down. Peter, who's been your favorite player of the game?
Keith Miller has been dynamic, but my favorite player this game, just because of how fun it is to watch him, is got to be Will Harbor.
Yep.
For the Reedy Lions. He's been doing kicking for them. He's been tackling on special teams as well as a kicker. He's been a dynamic linebacker, and then in the Wildcat formation, he's been looking to gain some rushing yards. But we see victory formation for Reedy.
They're just going to kneel it and say goodbye. They're going to stroll off into not the sunset, but in the rain, and well, have a good night and just have some celebration. That was a good game, Peter.
Absolutely.
Great game. Lots of good plays, lots of bad plays, lots of learning curves for both teams. Penalties were a big part of this game, but we'll be with you. We'll be right back with you after this short break.
Of Frisco ISD. A free download in the App Store and Google Play, the Frisco ISD Athletics app keeps you up to date with all things in the athletic department.
Schedules, scores, rosters, news, social media, final score notifications, along with the ability to watch live broadcasts are just a touch away.
Proudly represent your school with our newly available custom app icons. The official sports network of Frisco ISD Athletics, powered by Mascot Media. Download it today for free in the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back to the game, and that is the end of the game, Peter.
And so we have Reedy Lions winning 33-24 against the Colony Cougars. What do you think of Reedy? What do you think of Reedy this game?
Well, first things first, Peter. I want to talk about those 4 key players. You got Josh Foskey, Michael Ferreira, Will Harbor, and Matthew Hoots. All those guys contributed to this win with the big plays, big sacks, big touchdowns, runs. But they still delivered it, and they sealed the victory. And now they're 2-0. And Peter, let me ask you this: what were your thoughts on the Colony's performance?
I mean, I don't think you can start anywhere else except for that one-handed catch with Keith Miller. I mean, my lord, what a play! That alone made my day today. It was a huge play, but it's not just that. He had another great 60-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter, and then there was Matthew Price, who did a great job. My bad. It was actually Miles Price, who did a great job of juking for defenders and getting a 40-yard touchdown for their third touchdown today. It's just been a game of huge touchdowns, but not only that, there's two sides to football. There's also the defense, and the reason why I believe Colony couldn't afford this win was the fact that their defense faltered, their secondary didn't show up, and it really was a tale of two halves. So, how enjoyable was this game for you?
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it about a 9. The third quarter was the best part. The first 1, 2, and 4, they were okay. There was a lot of penalties, very slow. But the third quarter was electrifying with that one-handed catch, with all the running touchdowns, all the defensive plays. But well, that just wraps up our game tonight. And you drive safe, everyone who watched the game. And well, the final score was 33-24. Have a great night.
I'm
I'm Josh Webb
I'm
with
Peter
Chung, and you're watching FSN.
Thank you for watching.